I'm visiting every single Roman ruin in Britain, and this is Burgh Castle. It was built about 1700 years ago as a Roman fort. Some of the walls are really well preserved, some are tilting rather precariously, and some show signs of quarrying, where people have reused the building materials for other purposes. This Anglo-Saxon church was built about 1,000 years ago, and it has evidence of Roman flint and brick reused to actually build it. And that makes a lot of sense if you think about it. You might as well use a dilapidated Roman fort in order to build your wonderful new church. The western wall has fallen almost entirely into the river valley, but that does give us a clue as to what the purpose of this fort actually was. This fort had about 500 to 1,000 men who worked as soldiers inside of it. Their wives and families had to live outside of the camp gates. These soldiers were protecting the local river port where goods would come in from the North Sea. It would also act as a really good base for the sailors to go out and fight any pirates that were in the North Sea. This fort is just one of 11 that fortified the southeast of England and had roughly a similar purpose. These are called the Saxon shore forts, and archaeologists and historians used to think they were called that because they defended against the Saxons, those raiders and colonisers who crossed the English Channel and settled England. But this fort was built about 100 years too early for them to ever come across any Saxons. However, when the Romans did leave Britain, the Anglo-Saxons did cross over the English Channel and settle, colonise and raid. They thought this was a fantastic place to set up shop. They built a monastery, and they also built that church I talked about earlier. A few hundred years later, another invader stepped foot in England. This time it was William the Conqueror and his Normans. He thought that this was a fantastic place for a castle, and instead of reusing the Roman walls, he decided to build his own style of castle, a motte and bailey castle. A motte is a ginormous hill which he built over this wall that you can see behind me. Burgh Castle Fort has one of the silliest names for an archaeological site I've ever come across. Burgh means a fortified place, and that's the Anglo-Saxon word. Castle also means fortified place, and a Roman fort, which is what this is, means fortified place. So Burgh Castle Fort effectively means fort, fort, fort. Bit of a silly name for a wonderful historic place.